Welcome to Vacation Quest. Today we're ranking the top 15 best small towns in South Carolina. You'll see towns where the Confederacy was both born and buried. A fishing village with 600 people that's somehow one of the most beautiful places on the East Coast. And a water tower shaped like a giant peach that you can spot from the highway. These are the 15 best small towns the Palmetto State has to offer. Number 15. Pawleys Island. Just south of Myrtle Beach along the Grand Strand, Pawleys Island has been drawing visitors since the 1700s, making it one of the oldest seaside resorts in the country. The barrier island sits between the Atlantic Ocean and a tidal creek, and it's the kind of place where people come to genuinely unplug. The beaches are wide and uncrowded, the creekside is perfect for kayaking, and the whole island operates at a pace that feels deliberately unhurried. Huntington Beach State Park is right next door, offering some of the best birding and beach access in South Carolina. And Brook Green Gardens, one of the largest sculpture gardens in the world, is just across the causeway. The island is also credited as the birthplace of the rope hammock, invented here in the 1880s by a riverboat captain. If you want to buy here, expect to pay around $500,000 to $600,000 for a home, given the beachfront location. Number 14. Newberry. Newberry sits in the central part of the state, about 45 miles northwest of Columbia, with a population of around 10,000 people. The downtown is anchored by the Newberry Opera House, a stunning Romanesque revival building from 1881 that's still an active performance venue, hosting everything from concerts to comedy shows. That's the main thing that sets Newberry apart. It has a genuine cultural scene that you wouldn't expect from a town this size. Walk the downtown and you'll find well-preserved 19th century storefronts, local restaurants, and boutiques. Lynch's Woods Park gives you hiking and natural areas right at the edge of town. In the fall, Newberry hosts its own Oktoberfest, which draws a solid crowd. Median home prices here run around $175,000 to $200,000, making it one of the more affordable options on this list. Number 13. Travelers Rest. Up in the Upstate near Greenville, Travelers Rest has about 10,000 residents and sits at the foot of the Blue Ridge Mountains. The town has become a destination for cyclists thanks to the Swamp Rabbit Trail, a 22-mile paved greenway that connects Travelers Rest all the way down to Greenville. On any given weekend, the trail is full of bikers, joggers, and walkers. Table Rock State Park is a short drive away and offers some of the best hiking in the state, with trails winding through mountain terrain to panoramic ridge views. The town itself has a walkable downtown full of craft breweries, boutiques, and restaurants. The Poinsett Bridge, just outside town, is considered the oldest surviving bridge in South Carolina, built in 1820, and it's genuinely striking. Homes here run around $280,000 to $320,000, given the proximity to Greenville. Number 12. Walterboro. Walterboro is the county seat of Colleton County in the Lowcountry, population about 5,500, and it calls itself the front porch of the Lowcountry, which is accurate. The town sits right off I-95 and makes for an excellent base to explore the surrounding region. The South Carolina Artisan Center is here, the largest showcase of traditional South Carolina crafts in the state, with work from over 300 artists. The Walterboro Wildlife Sanctuary covers more than 800 acres, right on the edge of downtown, with boardwalks threading through cypress swamps draped in Spanish moss. History runs deep here, too. The Tuskegee Airmen trained at the Walterboro Army Airfield during World War II, and there's a monument at the site. The historic district has beautifully preserved antebellum homes, and antique shops line the main streets. Median home prices are around $180,000 to $210,000. Number 11. Gaffney. Gaffney is a town of about 13,000 in Cherokee County, in the northwestern corner of South Carolina, near the North Carolina border. It's the self-proclaimed peach capital of South Carolina, and to prove it, they built a 135-foot water tower in the exact shape of a giant peach, complete with a leaf. It's called the Peachoid, and it's visible from I-85. It's been featured in House of Cards, and yes, people do stop just to take a photo with it. But the town has more going on than the water tower. There's a historic downtown with 3 separate historic districts, 2 Revolutionary War battlefields nearby, Kings Mountain and Cowpens National Battlefield, and fresh peaches sold roadside in season. The Cherokee County Historical Museum covers the local history well. Homes in Gaffney are among the most affordable on this list, with median prices around $140,000 to $165,000. Number 10. 96. 96, yes, that's actually the name, is a small town of around 2,100 people in Greenwood County, about 9 miles from the city of Greenwood. The name comes from the colonial era. It was 96 miles from a Cherokee trading post, and early settlers marked it as such. Today, it's home to the 96 National Historic Site run by the National Park Service, which preserves the site of 2 Revolutionary War battles. The centerpiece is the Star Fort, a well-preserved earthen fortification that withstood the longest siege of the entire Revolutionary War in 1781. American General Nathaniel Greene's forces surrounded it for 37 days without being able to take it. You can walk the 1-mile trail through the site and see the original earthworks still intact. Lake Greenwood State Park is just a few miles away for fishing, paddling, and camping. Homes in the 96 area sell for around $150,000 to $180,000. Number 9. McClellanville. This one might be the most overlooked place on the entire list. McClellanville is a fishing village in Charleston County, northeast of the city, with a full-time population of only about 600 people. It sits at the edge of the Cape Romaine National Wildlife Refuge and is surrounded by the Francis Marion National Forest. The working waterfront along Jeremy Creek is still active. You can buy fresh shrimp and oysters off the docks from family-run vendors who haul it in daily. The historic district has 105 buildings dating from 1860 to 1935, many of them beautifully preserved. Coastal Expeditions runs tours where you might spot dolphins, sea turtles, and over 300 bird species. In the spring, the town hosts the Lowcountry Shrimp Festival, including the traditional Blessing of the Fleet ceremony. Given the location inside Charleston County, homes here generally run $350,000 to $450,000, reflecting the Lowcountry coastal premium. Number 8. Georgetown. Georgetown is the 3rd oldest city in South Carolina, nestled between Charleston and Myrtle Beach on Winyah Bay. With a population of around 9,000, it's a genuine waterfront town with a historic district containing more than 250 heritage homes and buildings, 60 of them listed on the National Register of Historic Places. The Harbor Walk along the Sanpit River is a nice stretch of waterfront shops, galleries, and restaurants. History buffs should visit Hopswee Plantation, the birthplace of Thomas Lynch, Jr., one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence. Georgetown was once the center of South Carolina's rice industry. By the late 1700s, it was producing nearly half of all the rice grown in America, and the Rice Museum in town tells that story well. The Kaminsky House Museum gives you a look inside a fully intact 18th century merchant's home. Median home prices in Georgetown run around $230,000 to $260,000. Number 7. Edisto Island. About an hour southwest of Charleston, Edisto Island has a population of roughly 1,500 and a feel that's completely its own. No chain restaurants, no high-rise hotels, no traffic. The beaches at Edisto Beach State Park are some of the least developed on the East Coast, and the park has a good trail system, including the Spanish Mount Trail, which leads to an ancient shell mound left by indigenous people. Edisto is a stronghold of Gullah Geechee culture. The community descended from enslaved Africans who developed a distinct language and set of traditions that still survive here. The Edisto Island Serpentarium is a popular hands-on reptile zoo where you can see alligators and snakes up close. Botany Bay Plantation Heritage Preserve offers 4,600 acres of maritime forest and beach, including an eerie stretch of driftwood called the Boneyard Beach. Property on Edisto Island runs around $450,000 to $550,000, given the coastal access and protected setting. Number 6. Cheraw. Cheraw sits in the PD region in the northeastern part of the state, along the PD River, with a population of about 5,000. It's been called the prettiest town in Dixie, and that's not just marketing. The historic district has 39 preserved buildings, 19th century frame houses, antebellum homes, and one of the oldest Anglican churches in the state, Old St. David's, dating back to 1768. But Cheraw has an ace most small southern towns don't. It's the birthplace of Dizzy Gillespie, one of the founding fathers of bebop jazz. There's a 7-foot bronze statue of him in the center of town, and the annual Cheraw Jazz Festival draws serious musicians. Cheraw State Park is an excellent outdoor destination. You can golf an 18-hole championship course, paddle Lake Juniper, and stay in lakeside cabins. Median home prices in Cheraw run around $130,000 to $160,000. Number 5. Abbeville. Now we're getting into the top 5, and Abbeville earns its spot for reasons that are hard to find anywhere else in America. This town of about 5,000 people in the western upstate has the remarkable historical distinction of being both the birthplace of the Confederacy and its final resting place. In November 1860, a rally at a grove called Secession Hill convinced South Carolina to become the first state to secede from the Union. Then, in May 1865, 4 years and an immeasurable amount of suffering later, Confederate President Jefferson Davis held the last meeting of his cabinet at the Burt Stark Mansion in Abbeville, effectively conceding the war was over. You can walk from Secession Hill to the mansion in about 20 minutes. The Abbeville Opera House, built in 1908, is still an active venue for concerts and plays. The downtown square has a good collection of shops and restaurants. Homes in Abbeville average around $150,000 to $185,000. Number 4. Camden. Camden is South Carolina's oldest inland city, with a population of about 7,500 sitting in Cheraw County, about 30 miles northeast of Columbia. It's a town that punches well above its weight. The historic district is excellent, the cultural offerings are strong, and the equestrian tradition here rivals Aiken. Camden hosts the Carolina Cup steeplechase every spring at Springdale Racecourse, one of the most celebrated horse racing events in the Southeast. Historic Camden is a 107-acre Revolutionary War site with reconstructed log buildings, the restored Craven House from 1785, and costumed reenactors. Lord Cornwallis himself commandeered a house here during his Southern campaign in 1780. The town also has a strong arts presence, with galleries and public installations throughout the Camden Cultural District. Median home prices in Camden run around $290,000 to $330,000. Number 3. Bluffton. We're into the top 3! Bluffton sits on the May River in Beaufort County, with a population that's grown to around 30,000 in recent years. Though Old Town Bluffton, the original historic core, still feels like a small southern town. The shaded streets, the live oaks, the Church of the Cross perched over the river. It's one of the most photogenic corners of the state. Old Town is very walkable, with art galleries, boutiques, and cafes concentrated on Calhoun Street. The May River is excellent for kayaking and fishing, and the surrounding tidal marsh is outstanding for birdwatching. The Bluffton Farmers Market runs on Thursdays, and every fall, the Bluffton Arts and Seafood Festival brings the whole community out. It's close to Hilton Head Island and Savannah, so you get a great location with a much more manageable price tag. Expect to pay around $470,000 to $540,000 for a home in Bluffton. Number 2. Aiken. Aiken, population around 33,000, sits in the western part of the state near Augusta, Georgia, and it has a distinct identity built almost entirely around horses. The town has been a center of thoroughbred racing and polo since wealthy Northerners started wintering here in the late 1800s, and that culture never left. There are polo fields, steeplechase races, horse parades, and training barns throughout the area. The Aiken steeplechase hosts 2 nationally sanctioned races per year, but the real showstopper is Hitchcock Woods, over 2,000 acres of urban forest right inside the city limits, one of the largest of its kind in the country, with sandy trails originally designed for horseback riding. You can spend half a day in there without seeing another person. Beyond horses, Aiken has a charming downtown, good restaurants, and the Aiken County Historical Museum. Median home prices here run around $310,000 to $330,000. Number 1. Beaufort. Beaufort takes the top spot, and it's well-earned. Located on Port Royal Island, midway between Charleston and Savannah, with a population of around 13,500, Beaufort is one of the oldest cities in the Southeast. Founded in 1711, it's the second oldest town in South Carolina. The historic district is a 300-acre National Historic Landmark, with antebellum mansions lining the streets that somehow survived the Civil War intact, largely because Union forces used the town as a headquarters after capturing it in 1861. Henry C. Chambers Waterfront Park sits right on the Beaufort River, where you can watch dolphins, catch a sunset over the marsh, or join a kayak tour. The Penn Center on nearby St. Helena Island was one of the first schools for freed enslaved people in America, founded in 1862. Beaufort has also been used as a film location for Forrest Gump, The Big Chill, and The Prince of Tides. The Beaufort International Film Festival runs every February and has become one of the faster-growing film festivals in the Southeast. Expect to pay around $450,000 to $590,000 for a home, depending on the neighborhood. That's the list. 15 towns that show you a side of South Carolina most people drive right past. If you're from South Carolina, we want to hear from you. Did we get it right? Drop your pics in the comments below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching.